were talking off camera a little bit about how you felt like the vintage scene wasn't really popping like that out here.
Yeah.
Get into that a little bit.
Yeah, so when I was choosing what business to start, I
Mm.
had done some research and I was got really big into the sustainable side of clothing and how it was even back then, 10 years ago, it was looking crazy like dang, we're overbuying with nowhere to put these clothes.
Yeah.
Like the world is going to contribute to global warming. Like it was already a good amount of data out then. And I felt like at the time it was like a $64 billion problem
Mm.
and growing. And I was like, well, then that means it's like at least a multi-million-dollar solution. Like I can come up with something to get some of this, you know, if I can solve some of these problems or get into that field. So I chose vintage really because of the numbers.
Yeah.
And yeah, like the scene in Orlando wasn't, I don't know what it was, but it wasn't really like a fashion scene at all to me.
Mm.
And I was always real into clothes. Like I'm a fashion person.
Yeah.
I'm well, yeah, I'm a business person who is fashionable.
Yeah.
And so by I would just get creative and bring stuff to the store that I wanted to wear
Mm.
and I would just buy multiples and then sell those and then yeah, people started getting into it. So now I feel like there's a vintage scene for sure. Like I'm not saying that I like created the vintage scene because there was definitely a few vintage stores in Orlando, but they were more. Everybody in Orlando was like
Mm.
60s, 70s,
Yeah.
80s. They considered what we call the category 90s, 2000 is what it is now. There was no category back then for that.
Mm.
They considered that just urban.
Mm.
You know, that was even before like streetwear
Yeah.
had like a real big name. So I remember like there's a board here for all the vintage stores
Mm.
and they do awards every year. And they would never invite me. Like they would never
What?
invite me. And I know, and they knew of my. I mean, they knew of my stores,
Mm.
but they would never invite me. And like the couple of owners that I did know would come tell me, like, yeah, they just say that you're just not vintage, so
Mm.
you know. But
Really?
I know it was crazy. But we were popular, and now every 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 store out here is selling 90s, 2000s, urban vintage, Jordan is Jordan. You know, it's like, but it's good to see it. It's good to see a industry evolve.
Man, pull your soldier boy out, man. I did it first. I did it first.
Bar for bar,
Go ahead, pull out your soldier boy. You playing.
word for word,
I'm
bar for
usually with
bar.
the humble stuff, but go ahead, do it, man. I
Oh,
did that.